just working it out bit by bit. Oh, we did it. We did it, America. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Good morning to all of you. If you don't mind, let me see if I can do all this at the same time. Hello. Welcome to what is probably the most technically complicated procedure I've ever done. And I'm a board certified physician and I went to Juilliard. So today we are launching a new series that we're very excited about. And I don't believe there is a better guest to bring on when we're talking about fandoms and we're talking about Fridays of the 13th than Aaron Mahnke. So I'll get into him in just a moment. I'm sorry, Aaron, you're gonna have to stay there, look pretty for me. Welcome to Fandom Fridays, everybody, here on shopstands.com. A community harnessing the voice of actors and the power of fandom to help change the world. I'm your host, Charlie Capen, and you might be asking yourself, what the hell is Fandom Fridays, Charlie? And I would say to you, well, I'm glad you asked that question. It is, the Stands community is comprised of a ton of different people around the world who love what they love: films, books, TV series, podcasts, comics, tabletop games, weird t-shirts with my name on them. The list is really endless. The Stands team got tired of just simply being tastemakers in nerd couture. So we thought, why not introduce you to new fandoms and content, and we can dive in and introduce you to those. Or if you love a fandom, like you are a fan of Aaron's and all of his content, then speak about it. Let everybody else know about it. So now we're having this sort of semi-monthly little meeting where we all get together and talk about stuff that we love, genres and stories and content that we love. So I am going to stop talking in just a moment because I don't like the sound of my own voice, and that's why I also shouldn't have a podcast. Our first guest on this auspicious voyage is, through the geekdom world, is an author, speaker, and juggernaut in the podcast community. The first thing I said to Aaron was, I have so many podcast friends who look up to Aaron and adore what Aaron does. He has, his show Lore has racked up over 500 million downloads and was turned into an Amazon series. And his most recent series, Bridgewater, which you may know, has followed this character that played by Misha Collins, who you might know from a CW Supernatural, and Melissa Ponzio from MTV's Teen Wolf. It won Best Fiction Podcast, by the way, at the iHeart Podcast Awards. And you're in luck because today is there's a brand new season out today. So we are all in luck because Aaron, you have so much. First of all, congratulations on the season 2 of Bridgewater. How are you feeling? Are you scared, excited, scare-sighted?
I am so relieved to get it out. The good thing about building a show with the team is that I'm not the only one pushing it over a finish line. So I'm tired and excited, but I'm just relieved to let everybody experience this new season. It's so good.
That's so awesome. And season 1, we're in the interest to introduce people to content and fandoms. There's such a big fandom around Bridgewater. Can you tell us a little bit about season 1 for people who have not listened?
Yeah, so season 1 begins with the introduction of the character played by Misha Collins, a professor of folklore at a local university in Massachusetts. His name is Jeremy Bradshaw. And Jeremy is working through the folklore of the world around him while also dealing with the fact that his father disappeared 40 years earlier in an area of Massachusetts known as the Bridgewater Triangle. And if it sounds like the Bermuda Triangle, there's a reason for that. It's a place on land that has all sorts of unusual experiences, monsters, sightings, ghosts, curse stories. There's an overlapping of culture and the indigenous people who were there first, the European settlers from different countries all brought their own pieces and created this triangle of land that is just super spooky. So Misha's at the center of the drama that unfolds in this area. And a lot of it has to do with his father's old partner from 40 years ago, Ann Becker, played by Melissa Ponzio, who thinks that he might still be alive and is trying to find him still. And everything sort of explodes from there.
So season 1 finished, and I think season 2's come out today. So there are people who are already listening, already downloading. If you haven't, go download it right now, bridgewaterpodcast.com. What can we expect from season 2 without giving anything away? Tough question.
That's tricky. I don't want to give away things for people who haven't seen season 1, but the final seconds of season 1 set us up for a new challenge, where Misha spends most of season 1 as the cynic, the unbeliever who's resistant. Something has happened that has sort of flipped the coin for him, and it's good, but it also brings a whole bunch of new challenges, and with that, new characters. We have a mysterious figure in the show this year called the Legend Tripper, which is just a term for people who travel around and like go visit famous folklore sites or do their own investigating. People who might break into Area 51 to see the UFOs. Those are Legend Trippers. And our Legend Tripper is played by a gal named Tricia Helfer. So if you're a fan of Battlestar Galactica, among many other amazing performances, that is Tricia Helfer. And Jeremy's father has a larger role in this season, I guess we should say. And his performance this season is by Alan Tudyk, of Firefly fame, of Rogue One, of so many great things. Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball, probably my favorite role of his. Arr!
So good. Still quote that movie. So yeah, if you have not listened yet, go check out bridgewaterpodcast.com. It's so great to have fiction and so great to have radio theater in our lives, and thank you so much for bringing that to us. It's such an old practice that is still so modern now. So it's like we'll never stop telling these stories.
Right.
So I think most fans would know you from lore, it's safe to say. I mean, that started in 2015, and so for those who are somehow living under a podcast rock and are not part of that 500 million downloads, what is that series about?
So lore is, it's basically a historical documentary podcast. Lore, every episode is a fresh start on a new topic. We look into the history behind certain elements of folklore or superstition, whether it's ghost lights around the world or vampires or zombie folklore, and just go deep into it for one episode and explore some of the supposedly true stories that go along with them from history. And it's been fun. I just wrote episode 225 this week. So there's been a lot of stories told, and we've got so many more to share. And we'll be doing it more frequently in this coming year. I'll have more news on that soon. But look, if you want 30 minutes of calm piano music and my calm voice telling you about ghosts and witches, Lore is the podcast to listen to.
And those come out right now every Monday, is that right?
Every Monday, okay. Yeah. Every other week is a new story. The ones in between are sort of a remastered classic episode that I'm sort of fixing the audio on as we go.
I mean, ever the artist. You're always the divine dissatisfaction. Yep. Do you have, if you were to introduce people to lore, what episodes would you give them? Do you have any favorites or fan favorites?
Well, that's like asking me to pick a favorite child, which I could do, but they're both at school, so they won't hear me. I would, you know what? Start with episode 12. And if you want the fresh, modern production standards that I stick to today, look for the one that has remastered in its heading, but it's called Half Hanged. And it is a New England witch trial story unlike any that you've ever heard. It's real. It really happened. There are real people involved in the story. Just listen all the way through and the ending will blow your mind.
All right, hold on. I'm downloading this one right now. I have to hear this now. I'm literally like, the rain is out. I'm in Northern California, and we're just like basically Atlantis at this point. We're just trying to bail out water, and it sounds like listening to that sounds like the perfect thing to do today. It's just gray and
yes,
spooky. So, do you have? I mean, I think all artists get asked this question, and I think you should not be exempt from it. I think we all want to know sort of your favorite influences, your favorite writers or creators or works that really influence you and the work that you do. Do you have anything you want to share about your influences that maybe you can turn people on to because you're a fan, what you're a fan of?
Well, you know, it's funny. Lore as a podcast began as an accident because I had been writing what I would consider to be like my half-hearted attempt at Stephen King novels, you know, supernatural thrillers with some element of the real world woven in. You know, Pet Sematary has local indigenous people folklore as sort of the foundation behind a lot of it. And King is really good at doing that, of grabbing pieces that exist in our world and pull them into his fiction to give it a stronger foundation, if that makes sense. So Stephen King has always been one of those people he's up there for me. I grew up in an era, you know, born in the 70s, kid in the 80s. I grew up on X-Files, Unsolved Mysteries, any of those bizarre, mysterious documentary shows. That was where I was at. And I read a lot of books like that too. X-Files was a big deal for me. It was great a few years ago to get an email from one of the producers and directors from X-Files, Glenn Morgan, who said, "Hey, I love Lore.
So cool.
It's just so well written. Thank you for making it." And I said, "Hey, we're about to start looking into making a TV show. Would you be interested in working with me?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So Glenn was our showrunner for the first season.
Wow.
And I got to hang out on an X-Files set and meet Chris Carter and David and Jillian, and that was really fun. So that was a big influence on me too. And then, you know, years later, as I'm making it, there's Supernatural right there, just kind of living out all of the pieces in a fictional world, and that was really good entertainment.
Oh man, yeah. The feeling of watching X-Files, I remember as a kid or like as a teen, and then also like, you know, Unsolved Mysteries, sort of like the nights would get like darker a little earlier, and you'd turn on like Unsolved Mysteries and be like, oh no, I don't know, I can watch that, you know, like just.
I'm not sure I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, so we have also spoken to an expert cryptozoologist in our day a couple of years ago. I spoke to Rhys Darby and company from the Cryptid Factor podcast about cryptozoology. I'd like us to watch a clip, if you will. I'm going to try to spin this around here real quick. See if I can do that. 1 second before you hit play. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Okay. Let's do it. A question. I don't know if you guys can help with this, but can you tell me how I can find a werewolf, Mothman, or other cryptid monster as a boyfriend?
I personally wouldn't have a Mothman as a boyfriend. But yeah, the Mothman is very almost demonic in nature because we don't know what this thing is. It is a flying cryptid. It has big, evil, owl-looking red eyes, and it seems to be a harbinger of death. So when it turns up, you know, bad stuff happens.
Werewolf boyfriend, are you getting human boyfriend with that as well? Is that a sort of a nice
It's a 2
escape?
for 1. Yeah.
It's a 2-for-1 deal. It's a 2-for-1. I mean, I recommend, the only good thing about the werewolves is they've got a lot of strength. So if you need a bit of home handy work done, there's a jar that needs opening, leave it till the full moon, and then just have a list or all the objects and things that need fixing, and make sure the werewolf is obviously chained up and secured to something like perhaps the porcelain girth of a toilet. But then is able to reach out and do all the jobs that need doing before the sun comes up. And don't be disguised, don't be fooled as to how hot they are when they turn, because yes, they're quite sexy, but they will eat you.
Yeah.
All right. So while we get are we back? Oh,
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here. That is amazing.
so Rhys had some feelings. I think we need to follow this question up. Inquiring single minds want to know which cryptid would make the best romantic partner, Aaron.
Man. All right. The first thing I have to say is that he is correct on Mothman. I get the love. I do. I know that some people think Mothman, yes. Every time Mothman shows up, bad things happen. And that's just not the kind of boyfriend you want, right? You don't want tragedy everywhere you go. Go to a restaurant and place catches on fire or whatever. It's not good. So
yeah, sounds like me as
I'm gonna go deep, and I'm gonna say the Jersey Devil. And I have a couple of reasons why. All right. I mean, granted, we're talking about a horse-looking thing with wings, and it's weird, but it loves to dance. There's a lot of the sightings in the early part of the 1900s were the Jersey Devil dancing on rooftops, like clomping around up there with its hooves. So you've got a boyfriend who likes to dance. And if it ever needs to, come pick you up, he's got the wings and can just kind of flutter on over and grab you. So, I'm going to go with the Jersey Devil. There's also the aspect of the fact that it's like the 13th child. So Jersey Devil knows what it's like to be like ignored. And so as a boyfriend, I think it'll give you a lot of good attention, really focus on your needs. Yeah.
I just got that reference. Okay. All right. So that we'll take the Jersey Devil. I think this will be a continued question that we're going to have to continue to investigate for all concerned.
Yeah.
I think just to segue a little bit here, and I don't want to put you on the spot, Aaron, but have you ever considered working with Stans, this small boutique merch company for fans? Have you ever considered working with Stans on like a merch of any kind?
I've never heard of them.
You've never heard of Stans? You have what? What?
I'm kidding. I have admired Stans from afar for a long, long time. And recently, in the last couple of months, just said, hi, notice me. And it has started some really fun conversations.
That's excellent to hear. That's excellent to hear that you were playing hard to get like that. That's great. Well, hopefully one day there will be a merch love connection for you in the future. That's really sweet. That would be really a sweet thing to do to Stans. I also believe, as a duly appointed representative of Stans for this conversation, that Stans is not above bribing all of you watching here to be friends with us. So I was thinking maybe we could do give away 4 gift cards for Stans.
Yes.
Can we do so? Aaron, would you mind if you could ask a question? We will pick random winners from people who answer correctly in the comments. So all you have to do is comment to be entered. Aaron, would you mind taking it away? If you just your first question, please.
Absolutely. I have a question here.
Okay.
In the story of Mercy Brown, some say America's first vampire, what body part did Mercy Brown's father burn and put into a tonic for her brother?
Wow. Okay.
And that's a lot to unpack right there.
That's I'm having a visceral reaction to that question. Is there an episode you maybe take this up in that people could find?
It might very well be the one with tonic in its name, which is episode 1.
Okay, excellent. I hope you all come here. Obviously, go listen to his podcast. But if you already know it, please answer in the comments. Even after we're done here live, you can answer it. We will be announcing winners next week. Aaron, do you have a question number 2?
I do. Sorry, I was writing down an episode number for another thing I had in my head.
Oh, okay.
So when the town of Hadley hanged Mary Webster in 1685, what happened to her? What happened to her body? That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know. Okay. All right. So that's question 2 for Mary Hadley. Do we have a question 3?
Yes. This is a little dive back into the middle of the 20th century. So Betty and Barney Hill are the first to experience, at least in America, this very unique sort of event. What did they experience?
Oh, was it eating a brie grilled cheese sandwich? I don't want to give it away.
That sounds
Sorry.
delightful.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do we have a 4th question for gift card number 4 giveaway?
Yes. What is the most haunted hotel in Austin, Texas?
In Austin, Texas. Oh, I'm not going to give that one away. I know that one. I know it. I know.
You know that one.
I do know that one. All right. So we've got 4 questions. Just put a comment below in the comment boxes below here. Even after we're live, you can go ahead and answer that. Winners will be contacted for a $25 gift card to Stan's. You know, it would be really great if you wanted to use that gift card on a piece of lore merch there, Aaron. If you ever decide to get that together, I'm just saying.
Can we talk about that? Are we allowed to?
I don't know. No, you don't want. Okay. I think I'm being told that I need to wait just a moment, but good things are coming to everyone who loves lore. Yeah, talk to your people.
Okay.
There are good things coming. That's all I can say at this moment because Michelle will destroy me. So, Aaron, I'd just like to say thank you for coming on for our first Fandom Fridays. You are a person making the world a creepier and weirder place, and we really appreciate you for that.
I thank you.
It's 100% a compliment. You're doing an amazing job, and we're so excited for everyone watching here to dive into lore, all those hundreds of episodes, and then go check out Bridgewater season 1, and now season 2 is out today. So go check it out. You can go to grimandmild.com to go check out all of the shows. Bridgewater podcast, Lore podcast. Go check them out. Alan Tudyk is in it. Are you kidding me? Trisha Helfer. Well done.
Yeah, I know.
Well, thank you all, and thank you all for watching. Hopefully, we'll do this again soon. If there are any fandoms that you love, make sure you badger shirts at Michelle at Stan's about what fandoms you'd like to dive into next. We have a few fandoms that we've been talking about bringing to you. But Aaron, it's been a pleasure. Congratulations on your launch day of season 2.
Thank you, Charlie.
Take care, everybody. Stay weird.